Okay, so we're now in the next video. Thanks for watching, being here, still doing Warrior. Weber strong, strong together. Okay, but try each one on your own first. You're going to do some deductive logic and reasoning there. And so that deductive logic and reasoning is going to help you to eliminate probably those things that definitely doesn't work, and then check out the one that probably does work. And so let's see, we are going down for number 17. Just double checking there. Okay, so we are going down, so definitely not B, because it's going as needs to have a negative in the front. And then, we have a y-intercept of positive 10. So that would actually be up here, would be a y-intercept. So that's probably not going to work. Let's double check the last one. So that's going to be left, no. That's going to be a vertex of right 3 up 5. Did that work? 1, 2, 3, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could work. We could have right 3 up 5, couldn't we? And then it looks pretty narrow. It looks pretty narrow, like you're going down 1, 2, 3, and over 1, back 1. Yeah, so that one could definitely work. This one is left 2, down 5. So left 2, down 5. That's not going to work. So that one's not going to work. Let's see. We have x-intercepts at 3 and 7. Yeah, that could work, 3 and 7. And we're going down. Oh, we're not going down. We're going up. So probably going to be this guy right here. What are factors of 18? 6 and 3. Sign of the middle term goes with a bigger number, but then negative, and a negative is a positive, so they both have to be negative. So we have x-intercepts at 3 and 6, which could definitely work, 3 and 6, and it's going up. Whoa. So please say you paused me. You're not just watching me. You got to try these on your own, right? Try it on your own. Okay, let's see here. So we'll give you a hint. We don't have time for all 3 of them. We'll definitely do a tricky one. On the test, I think I do the coordinates for you because I don't want you to mess up on that part. So here we go. We got negative 6, left 6, up 4. Here is negative 2, up 2. Pause me. Can you identify them on your own? Pause me. And that's going to be 0, down 2. And that's going to be over 4, down 4. So you're going to take each of those and come up with new ones, right? Here's our old coordinates, our old points as they call them, which is negative 6, 4, negative 2, 2, 0, negative 2, and there's not going to be enough room, guys. Sorry about that, because you got to graph it. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take those old coordinates and you're going to go ahead and do something to it, transform it in some way. So number 19 for your x values, remember it's opposite. So you're just going to add 3 to each one of those x values. Boom, 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 boom. And then you're going to go up 2, which is adding 2 to all the y values. Boom, 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 boom. And so that's what you're going to do for number 19, and then you're going to graph those new coordinates. Now this one's a little bit trickier, so remember that it's opposites. Opposites. So instead of 3 times x, it's actually going to be divide by 3 is your key there. And x values only, x values only. And then number 21, you know how to do that one, where you add 1 to all the x's. What about that negative 2 on the outside? You got to remember that for the test. What do you do for that? So that is y values, just as you see it. And it's only the y values. And you're going to go ahead and multiply, just as it says, not opposite. Just as it says, you're going to multiply by the negative 2 to all the y values. So we'll give it a try with the divided by 3, which is number 20, since that's a tricky one. So we're going to go ahead and take each of these x values and divide by 3. This is number 20 now we're doing. So then we go ahead and we divided by 3 on every single one of those. So now we get negative 2, 4 is our new points. And then we also get, that's a tricky one. So that's negative 2/3. Lame. That's 0 divided by 3 is 0, -2. That's lame. And then 4 divided by 3, -4. Sorry that didn't work out as easy as we'd like it to, but we're still going to give it our best shot there. We got this. We got this. Okay, so we're going to go -2, 4, so that's here for our new graph. Then -2/3 is almost -1. So, and then up 2, so it's going to be right about there. This thing's really shrinking, divided by 3. And then we get 0, -2, which is way down here. And then we get 4/3, which is like, 3/3 and a little bit more, a third more. So we'll go 1 1/3, and then down to -4. So our graph really shrunk with the x values. Can you see that? Yeah, that thing really, it was wide, and then it really just sucked in. Just sucked in. So give that a try for number 19 and number 21 and graph it. Okay, so determine the number and type of zeros. Hence, sketch a very rough graph. And so all you're going to do, try it on your own. Pause me. Don't forget to pause me. Try it on your own. Pause me. Okay, let's see here. So we're going to go ahead and sketch a rough graph. So we're going to go right 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down 6. So that's way down here. We are going up and we are going wide. Up 4 over 4. So then how many zeros are we going to have on that? We're going to have one there and we're going to have one there. So we're going to have 2 real zeros, right? If it was going down, it would be imaginary, 2 imaginary zeros, because it wouldn't cross the x-axis. I'm not sure why they did this one. Maybe because it is above. Let's take a look. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3 to the left, because that means left. And then way up at 10. Yep, and that's going upwards. Yeah, so these are going to be 2 imaginary, not real, 2 complex or imaginary zeros or roots. Zeros. Because they're way above the graph. Okay, determine the number and type of zeros using the discriminant. Right? Using the discriminant from the quadratic formula. And so that's the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Remember, the rules are if you get a square root of 0, it's 1 real root. If you get a square root of a negative number, like -2 or just some negative number, then it's 2 imaginary. And if you get the square root of just a positive number, then it's 2 real. Way-o. So we'll go and give that a try. You try 24, I'll try 25, the harder one. I'd probably divide a 2 out to make it easier on the test, right? Because that's crazy. So go to make that all smaller. So we get a -1 x squared minus 14x minus 49. Yeah, I wonder, that should still work. Let's see if it works. It should end up being 1 real. Let's see. So x equals no. We're not doing the whole quadratic, just the discriminant. So the square root of b squared, which is 14 squared. It's a -14. It's going to be squared. That'll make it positive. Plus a minus. This is really important because there's so many negatives. Pause me. I'm waiting. You try on your own, remember? I'm waiting. Try on your own. You're not trying on your own. You're going to fail the test. You got this. Try on your own and then see. Then push play. Pause me. Okay, so we get a -2, which is our... No, I think our a value is actually a -1. There you go. And then we also get a c value, which is -49. Rio. Okay, so then in our calculator, we got to figure out what 14 all squared, -14 squared, it'll still be positive 196. And then plus, we got a negative. Negative is a negative. That's crazy. So that's going to be a -4 times a -1 times a -49. Which is a negative 196. Way-o. And so positive and a negative is 0. 196. And so that means 1 real root. So you go ahead and give number 24 a try using the discriminants. Remember, if it's invisible, a equals 1, b equals -6, and c equals 15. So leave your x at home, right? No x's. No x's. Just numbers. Just numbers when you're doing the discriminant or the quadratic. Okay, beautiful. Convert the following quadratic to standard form and list the requested information. So it just wants you to remember to multiply it out into standard form. So we take the -1/3 and we hold on to it for a bit. And how many x minus 3's do I have? I've got 2 of them, so I have to multiply them together. Plus 7's at the end. Okay, x times x is x squared. X times -3. Pause me, try it on your own first. Try it on your own first. -3 is a +9. So we get x squared minus 6x with a +9. Good. Now you got to multiply that -1/3 through. Whoa. Distributed through. Lucky they're all divisible by 3, right? So then we get y is equal to -1/3 x squared. Negative divided by negative is a positive. And then when you say times 1/3, you're actually dividing by 3, right? Because you have to have 1/3 and you're timesing it with a 6. Yeah, it's just 6 and it's just 6 divided by the 3, which is just 2. So you're just taking the 6, timesing it with the 1/3, and 6 divided by 3 is just 2. So we get a positive 2x. And then 9 divided by 3, oh, it's going to be a -3. And now we can finally add the 7. 7 with the -3 is a +4. Wayo. So what is our concavity? Well, it's negative, so it's going down. But what's the y-intercept? That comes from that last value, the c value. That comes from the c value. Let's double check, make sure. Got that right? Yep. Don't forget it's 0 because you got to do the 0 for the x value because you got to put it in coordinate form. Put it in coordinate form. Okay, so convert the following to factored form. Whoa, we got to factor this? Is there a GCF in the house? You do it first. Pause me. So we divide by 4. Good. Pull out that 4. We get x squared plus 3x minus 10. And hopefully factored form. Can that factor more? Yeah, it can. You know it can. So factors of 10 are 2 and 5. Sign the middle term goes with the, say it, bigger number. So plus 3 and a minus 2. And 5x minus 2x is 3x. We did it. So we have x-intercepts at x equals positive 2 and -5. And so you go 2, 0 and -5. Remember, it's opposite what's inside. You have to take each of those and set them equal to 0 as y. Yeah, you have to add them to the other sides. You get x equals 2. And then you minus 5 to the other side. So you get a -5. Cool. So convert the following quadratic functions to vertex form. Completing that square. Let's go. So you remember that you take the b and you divide by 2 and you square it. So -8 divided by 2 is -4. All squared is 16. So then you take x squared minus 8x. You kick that 10 way over here. And so you're going to go ahead and do something special now. You're going to complete the square, which means when you factor it, it'll be perfect. It'll be a perfect square. You can't just add 16, you also have to minus 16, right? So then you can go ahead and factor that into its perfect square, x and x. Right? And that -4 is your key. So it's going to be a 4 and 4, that's 16, but they have to be negative. And a negative times a negative is a positive. Wayo. So we get y equals, how many x minus 4's do I have? So I have 2 of them, so we have to put squared. And then 10 minus 16 is a -6. Wayo. So we get a +4, opposite sign, and a -6. And it doesn't have a stretch. It's not up or down because there's no There's no 2 in front, so it's not narrow. There's no 1/2. So yep, it's just none. Just none. Okay, so this is a little bit trickier now. You do have to pull that -3 way out. And so we're going to divide. Man, that's going to be a fraction. That's ridiculous. And so you're going to have to pull that -3 way out. So you're left with x squared. 12 divided by -3 is a -4. Let me see here. Uh-oh. So they pulled out a -3. You forgot. Mrs. Won't say their name. You forgot the negative. You forgot the negative. Yeah, so you're supposed to pull out a negative. Interesting. So you did pull out a negative there, but you forgot to do it with the 4. Yep. And then you also forgot that you're pulling out. So it's going to be a -7/3. And then, 7/3. And then you have a close parentheses. But you also have another parentheses because you have to distribute that -3 through at the very end. So then we take our b, divide by 2, and square it. And so that's going to be -2 squared, which is a +4. And so now you're going to add 4, and you're going to -4, right? Which if you convert that, 4/1, if we convert that to thirds, that's going to be a ×3, and ×3, that's 12/3. You'll see in a second why I did that. Okay, let's see here. So then we get y equals -3. We get x, let's see, what the? Take the b, divide by 2, and square it. That must be a 2, right? When you factor that. So that's going to be a 2, and 2 is 4, and the negative times the negative is a positive. So then we, there's another parentheses. So then we get y equals -3, parenthesis, x minus 2 all squared, good. Now we can combine those together. So we have a negative, I think it's a -12/3 with your -7. So that's what, -19/3? Way-o. Okay, so the reason why we did the double parenthesis or brackets is because now you got to distribute the -3 back with the equation and that value at the end, right? Which will then make it positive, and we'll also cancel the 3's, and it'll make it positive. So our final equation is -3, x minus 2, all squared. Negative times negative is a +19, which they got the same answer, just didn't have the right work. Wait a sec, that vertex, careful now. Nope, that vertex, careful now. So that vertex was actually supposed to be a number. It was supposed to be, because you had to pull out the -3 there. So that's going to be a +2 opposite sign, and then +19. And then the stretch is going to be narrow by 3. And it's also going to be down. Way-o! Okay, so thanks for watching. We'll do another video there. Thanks for watching. That was a longer one.